members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished guests, I have been tasked with introducing the chairperson for this occasion. He has over 20 years experience with civil society, parliament, and donor agencies. He has managed multiple African institutional reform projects, including justice sector reform, electoral reform, parliamentary reforms, civil society strengthening, and decentralized service delivery. Trained at Foreign College in Sierra Leone, Ibadan, Nigeria, and London, our chairperson has distinguished himself as an expert in democracy promotion and public policy. He is a Presidential Award winner 2021 for bringing citizens living evidence in policy making in Africa. His award, Commander of the Roquel, is Sierra Leone's most prestigious decoration of citizens who have distinguished themselves in public service, arts, sciences, and philanthropy. The presidential citation highlights the chairman's innovative and non-combative state citizen engagement model for jointly addressing the country's challenges. As a national partner for the Afro-Barometer in Sierra Leone, our chairperson is a big data-driven expert on democracy, governance, and development of the African continent. As former country manager for Westminster Foundation for Democracy, our chairperson has been instrumental in building the parliamentary service for Sierra Leone and strengthening political parties. Our chairperson is the founding executive director of the policy think tank in Sierra Leone, Institute for Governance Reform. With funding from the World Bank, IGI's reports, broadening access and quality, citizens' feedback on the state of health and education services in Sierra Leone was debated and adopted by Parliament of Sierra Leone in December 2021. On this occasion, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce the chairperson. He will effectively take you through the proceedings. Without further hesitation, I present to you Mr. Andrew Thomas Lavalley, Executive Director, Institute for Governance Reforms. Thank you.
Speaker, the leader of government business, distinguished members of the High Table, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I say good morning to you. So, because we are starting over an hour behind schedule, so I just ask that we become very snappy in our statements. But it's good for all of us to be happy. I just want us to put our hands together for Parliament and civil society. We should do that because this is truly epoch-making. With all my years in governance and parliamentary work, I think this is the very first in Africa that Parliament and civil society are coming together to form an association. I mean, some cynics and critics will say, maybe Parliament wants to co-opt civil society. I mean, but from where I sit, and given the fact that all of us were part of this journey when it started, we believe that both sides of the divide are going to be useful to one another, because Parliament, an effective Parliament, is a Parliament that uses information. An effective Parliament is a Parliament that is transformative, and for you to be transformative, you need to use information. So I remember the day in 2021 when our report, funded by the World Bank, was debated here by this Parliament, and the recommendations were adopted by both sides of the divide. I mean, it's good you just see how from civil society we felt elated that day. So Parliament and civil society, we've proven that we can work together. So the use of I look for a day when Parliament will invite all civil society to serve on committees as witnesses. I look for a day when Parliament will be using not only maybe donor reports, but other reports from civil society for it to be discussed and adopted here. I think today we are here and see colleagues from the OGP. So we're also ranking on the OGP. It will just get higher and higher as we go along. I see colleagues from the PN Africa. So I also ranking, parliamentary ranking on PN Africa score went higher. So after all of this, we hope to see tangible results in how Parliament and civil society can work together. So with those few remarks, I will declare this meeting open, and I would like to call for comments. I encourage colleagues to feel free. If you want to use the lectern, you can use it. Feel free. If you want to just stand from here, you can. But because there are many other participants that are way at the back that would like to see you, I just encourage each speaker to rise and speak to them. So I will now call on Umupine. Yes. Umupine, Honorable Umupine. Honorable Umupine is the Past Student Steering Committee member. You can just give the welcome address. Put your hands together for Umupine, please.
Distinguished guests, the Ninth Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the leader of government business, the leader of the main opposition, the deputy leader of government business, the leader of government business, honorable members of Parliament, acting clerk of Parliament, the Director General of Parliament, development partners, representatives from civil society, esteemed national stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome to the official launch of the Partnership and Collaboration Network between Parliament and civil society organizations, formerly known as PARSNET. It is a profound honor and privilege to stand before you today as we embark on this monumental journey towards fostering accountability, transparency, and good governance in our beloved Sierra Leone. For years, the need for a cohesive and collaborative effort between Parliament and civil society has been a subject of discussion. Today, we witness the fruition of those discussions with the establishment of PARSNET, a network dedicated to bridging the gap between legislative processes and civil society engagements. The initiative signifies a pivotal step in our collective mission to ensure that the voices of our citizens are heard and their interests are represented effectively. I extend a warm welcome to our distinguished representatives from civil society across all 16 districts of Sierra Leone. Your presence here today is a testimony to your unwavering commitment to our shared goal of enhancing accountability in the governance process. Your insights, dedication, and active participation will be invaluable as we work together to shape a more transparent and accountable Sierra Leone. I also wish to acknowledge and welcome our esteemed national stakeholders and development partners, including the Right Honorable Speaker of the and Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the leader and Deputy Leader of the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party, the leader and Deputy Leader of the main opposition, the acting clerk of Parliament, the development partners and representatives from various political parties in Parliament. Your support and collaboration are crucial to the success of Parsonet, and we look forward to your continued engagement. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter in our governance landscape. Parsonet is not just a network, it is a symbol of our collective resolve to promote accountability and transparency in all aspects of governance. Through this partnership, we aim to embrace the effectiveness of parliamentary oversight, ensure the meaningful participants of civil society in legislative processes, and foster a culture of openness and responsiveness in governance. The launch of Parsonet is a novelty, being the first of its kind in sub-regional parliamentary divisions. This pioneering initiative sets a precedent for other nations in the region to follow, demonstrating our commitment to innovating in governance and dedication to creating a robust framework of accountability. As a member of the steering committee, I am confident that Parsonet will serve as a powerful catalyst for positive change. Together, we work tirelessly to uphold the principles of democracy, safeguard the interests of our citizens, and build a brighter future of Sierra Leone. Once again, I welcome you all to this historic occasion. Let us seize this opportunity to strengthen our partnership and reaffirm our commitment to accountability, transparency, and good governance. Thank you and welcome. My name is Leone.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's applaud one more time. One more time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So they are clear way, and the next speakers will be explaining to us how, with this process, the parliamentary civil society network, how will it make parliament effective? So at the end of the day, we can say Sierra Leone is going to be the first to establish a parliamentary civil society network. But what does it mean in real policy for the society that is so polarized out? So speaker after speaker, we're going to hear from that. But before that, I would like to hear from the acting clerk of Parliament, Gilbert Moscow-Nabe, to give us an overview of participants. Gilbert, please.
Mr. Speaker, please permit me to stand on all existing protocols as I provide an overview of the Parliamentary CSO Network, otherwise known as PAN-CSONet. The question is, can anything good come out of the Parliamentary CSO? The response to that is indeed many good things can come from this parliamentary survey. Because I got a call from the Parliament of Ghana that they were looking forward to come to Sierra Leone and learn from this experience. And as the chairman rightly mentioned, this is a novelty, and we are proud of it as Parliament to ensure that we take this forward. I will do a very short presentation, and I will look at the Parliamentary Sierra Leone CSO engagement journey. I will provide details on the structural framework of PAN-CSONet, and then I will identify the benefits of this collaboration over the years, and even going forward. And we'll also look at the post-launch expectations. Where do we go up to here? consultation and pre-legislative briefing as expert witnesses. So all of these were contained in what we refer to as the resolution that emanated from that very first engagement. Then we moved on to the relationship strengthening phase. Because we realized that it is not just about talking, but we needed to walk the talk. So therefore, we decided to strengthen the relationship. So we had an engagement forum which was supported by the Parliament of Leone on the 25th of April 2022 to further strengthen the relationship. So there was a commitment to have a mutually beneficial relationship between Parliament and Sierra Leone. And then firm commitment was also made to set up a functional, not just a CSO desk, but a functional CSO desk within the Parliament of Sierra Leone. There was also a firm commitment to constitute a steering committee that will manage the process. And there was also a commitment to sustain the operations of the parliamentary CSO operations through support to parliamentary programs for an initial pilot phase of 1 to 2 years. And all the partners that we're working with made a very clear commitment to support the process. We then move on to what we refer to as the operational phase. An office space was allocated by Parliament for the operations of our student. Specific program and equipment support was provided to our student by Parliament as well as partners. The BFD provided support for our programs. The BHC was also very instrumental in providing support for our programs. Plan International provided equipment support that is currently within the Office of our student. Child Fund has made a dedicated commitment to ensure that we provide quarterly stationary support to our student. The Parliamentary Network Africa in Ghana and the European Union also made commitment and supported a couple of programs undertaken by our student. There was also the development of an operational framework related to specific support areas by CSOs, and the setting up of a CSO operational commitment into thematic sectorial structures. The membership for the steering committee was also constituted, and what we are seeing today is the official launch of our student as part of farming that operational phase. Persistent structural framework. You know, there was a whole thought process. We did not just go into setting up the structure because we realized it was a novelty. We needed to come up with structures that would stand the test of time. So we decided to set up a steering committee. And the steering committee for Persistent was constituted along this framework. 6 members of Parliament, 3 SLPPMPs, and 2 ABC, a slight mistake there, and then 1 PCMP, making it a total of 6. 6 CSO representatives were identified also. And amongst those were IGR, CAL, CGG, MDEF, and Native Custodian. The development partners were also part of the committee, comprising of the BFD, Child Fund, OGP, Plan International, PN Africa, BHC, and the EU. And the parliamentary service representative, the director of DPREP, and the coordinating officer that was identified to support the process. And of course, we also identified at district level 14 in total. We had like 16 representatives, 14 from the district, and then 2 from Western Rural and Western Urban. So all of this constituted what became known as the Steering Committee of Persistent. A terms of reference was developed, it was validated, and that has now informed the operation of the Policy Student Steering Committee. So the rationale for setting up the steering committee is to enhance a stronger and more constructive relationship between Parliament and CSOs, to strengthen the structures and systems of parliamentary governance and accountability mechanisms, to promote visibility in respect of the engagement through various outreach sessions, enhance the operationalization of the CSO desk, have a structure that will establish program priorities, and then also ensure that it serves as an advisory and decision-making body that will help define the role of the parliamentary CSO network. We also identified a structure known as the technical cluster support structure as part of the process, because we realized that for us to ensure that this relationship is actually strengthened, there needs to be a commitment on the part of the CSOs to also support the process. Then we of course identified the CSO desk, and within the CSO desk that will serve as a coordinating unit, we identified 7 clusters. Cluster 1, border education. Cluster 2, health and sanitation. Cluster 3, gender, child protection, social protection and youth. Cluster 4, natural resources, governance, extractive minerals, climate and environment. Cluster 5, communication and ICT, justice, peace and security, human rights and rule of law for Cluster 6. And then Cluster 7, finance and economic development. Now, the idea of setting up this cluster structure was to see how, in the event that, for example, we have a bill that is coming to Parliament, each of those clusters that have a formation of CSOs leading the process will work with Parliament to help in areas like the synthesization of bills, provision of available data that will enrich the lawmaking process and ensure that once the laws are made in Parliament, they will relatively stand the test of time. It is not cast on stone. It is something, as we progressively move, we can identify some more clusters that can inform the process in which CSOs will support the Parliament is available. So in some of the areas that technical support can provide has to do with legislation, civic education, parliamentary openness, committee oversight and post-legislative scrutiny, parliamentary budgetary oversight, advocacy and policy scrutiny, and a couple of others. We also identified a program framework, and we did not want to go on with this in isolation. So we decided to ensure that all of what we're going to do was first of all going to be aligned with the strategic plan of Parliament. So as you can see, as part of our strategic plan alignment, the engagement speaks to strategic goal 4 of the strategic plan of Parliament, which is to strengthen representation and relationship with citizens. And it also speaks to strategy 4.4, which is to build linkages with civil society. And also strategy 4.5, which is promoting civic education and public trust in Parliament, and ensuring office-based allocation for the operations of the policy summit. So we also identified 5 program priority areas. PPA 1 has to do with capacity strengthening. PPA 2 has to do with parliamentary accountability programs. And PPA 3, CSO technical support to Parliament. And then PPA 4, program coordination and administrative support as part of the program engagement. So what are the benefits of collaboration? We need to identify this marriage was not just done for the sake of just coming together, but we believe that there has to be a symbiotic relationship and benefits with this particular process. First of all, through this collaboration, we're going to improve the relationship between Parliament and CSOs. In fact, a colleague that spoke to me from Ghana said they are finding it difficult to see how they will bring Parliament and CSOs together. Because everybody knows that there is a frosty relationship naturally between CSOs and Parliament. But what we're doing is actually to see how we can manage that process. So what we expect as a benefit is that there will be improved relationship between Parliament and CSOs. There will be also improved collaboration to initiate joint programs together. Parliament is really more effective and responsive to the needs of citizens as a result of this relationship. Oversight will be better conducted to inform policy and legislative actions. Enactment of laws expected to stand the test of time. Strengthening the structures and systems of parliamentary governance and accountability mechanisms in Leone. And also the provision of evidence-based data for utilization by MPs. I know, for example, IGR have a lot of information that it can provide for this parliament that will enhance our legislative process. The post-launch expectations. What happens after? Are we just launching for the sake of launching? But I want you to know that the parliamentary CSO network is poised to take this beyond the scope. And as part of this launch, the post-launch expectation, we are developing and implementing a parliamentary CSO network program framework. And the partners who are working with us have made a very clear commitment to support the programs that we develop to ensure that it keeps moving, not just this period and beyond. We're also going to fully constitute the CSO support desk. And going forward, we're going to see the CSO representative in that desk within Parliament, so that we have a functional CSO desk. We're also going to operationalize a dedicated web page for participants for the purpose of visibility, so that our programs will be enhanced and people will get to know of it. We're also going to operationalize a parliamentary CSO network strategic plan, which has been developed already. So what we need to do is to how to operationalize it. We're also going to have in place an operational framework for technical support to Parliament. We're going to equip the CSO desk office and make it fully functional. And going forward also, we're going to approve the steering committee in terms of reference by the parliamentary leadership to make the committee now more functional. Beyond this. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this accounts for the overview of the parliamentary CSO network. But I want to assure you all that the parliamentary union will continue to ensure that this is not just on paper, but will move to make the parliamentary CSO network a very functional structure within the parliamentary union. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. I think this man, Gilbert was a serious prefect here in school, so I never doubted his ability to explain concepts. He actually needed 6 hours to do this, but he compressed it very well. But there is something Gilbert missed out, which I will just share in a few seconds. So that we are here today, it was through blood and sweat, I would say. I remember there are times I was invited here, and Parliament ambassador, we were invited for scrutiny, for reports we made. There are some of my colleagues in the room here, were kind of arrested by Parliament because of comments made. So CSO and the state, the relationship is a terrain of contestation. So what we are here to celebrate today is how do we move from contestation to transformation? How do we make that relationship much more transformative? And you requested comments, and definitely there are going to be comments on the slides. For those of you who are familiar with the journey, this journey started years ago. So if you look at the structure, you can see that it is more likely modeled on the last development plan. But moving forward, we are going to see how we integrate the current development plan, and we're looking at food, looking at jobs into this plan so that Parliament actually supports the delivery of government. So with those remarks, I would just want us to applaud Gilbert one more time for the brilliant submission. So I will at this moment call on an elder brother in the room, Mr. Ibrahim Khalil Tutangi, the chairman of National Commission for Civic Education and Democracy. So just share with us the significance of all of this for the OGP. For those of you who don't know the OGP, Mr. Gilbert, Mr. Khalil Tutangi, the elder brother, will share all that with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lagali, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here. This journey, as Mr. Lagali said, started quite some time now in the fifth Parliament, and I want to acknowledge and applaud the role played by the leadership and membership of the fifth Parliament for the strides that we have been making in the open government space over the years. I'm proud to acknowledge here that about a year ago we were in Marrakesh, Morocco, with the former Speaker, Dr. Abbas Cherno-Bundu. The OGP Global CEO acknowledged our presence, and we were one of only 3 countries in all of Africa that he sought to meet with on account of the proud job that Parliament is doing. I want to commend you for what you do, and I only urge you to continue to be what you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, just yesterday, the OGP Global put out the independent review mechanism report for this year on account of our OGP Commitment Action Plan 2021 to 2023. And this is what they wrote. Early results. CLOs, what action plan solves job? Early results. Under Commitment 1, which is the Open Parliament Commitment, they said civil society engagement with Parliament was formalized through the establishment of a CSO desk and the Parliamentary Civil Society Network, PACSONET. And they said parliamentary discussions and deliberations was already evident during the action plan. It's notable progress in strengthening the legislative sector transparency was our other commitment. So this is to tell you that this is not the gathering to talk. Parliament has taken the bold steps to include the voices of civil society whose role is to advocate on behalf of the voiceless of this country. And I want to applaud all of the work that you guys in civil society have been doing in Parliament. And I see there is a commitment across the aisle to the issues of
you have to be open. And only Khalil Tutangi truly know the meaning of openness. It's not easy. It's good for you to note, for people to note, that in the pecking order of democracy ranking, which will be publishing sometime with the Afrobarometer sometime this month, Sierra Leone is about it's one of the first 5 countries in terms of commitment to democracy. But we remain poor. It means our democracy is not really translating into results. So when we talk about openness, is how do we ensure that we increase our satisfaction with democracy, increase trust for members of Parliament, and the more citizens understand the role of Parliament, the more they increase trust for members of Parliament. We did a report which showed that 61% of Sierra Leoneans want direct benefit from the members of Parliament. So what are some of the benefits? I want you to join my child in civil society. I want you to pay burial expenses. The WFP did a paper on the cost of politics. The cost of politics is making it difficult for members of Parliament to do their job. So on with those 2 back, we'll just go quickly to statements. It's stated here 5 minutes. 5 minutes for 5 speakers, and there's going to be the 6th. I was just being advised that we'll alternate the program at this point to bring in the Bar Association. So we press play. So we'll start with Honorable Ibrahim Aziz Kagura on behalf of the members of the co-chairperson. Honorable Ibrahim Aziz Kagura.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Honorable Speaker of Parliament, colleagues, honorable members of Parliament here present, distinguished representatives of civil society organizations, our esteemed women partners, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. May I start by thanking the initiators of this wonderful democratic philosophy, as today marks a significant milestone in our shared journey towards fostering a more transparent, accountable, and a collaborative democracy. It is a great pride and a profound sense of responsibility that I stand before you to announce the launch of the Parliament Civil Society Network called Civic. In our roles as members of Parliament, we are entrusted with the duty to represent the voices of our constituents, to legislate with integrity, and to oversee the functions of our government with vigilance. The essence of democratic governance lies in the principles of transparency and accountability. It is our commitment to these principles that guides us in our pursuit of a just and equitable society. The creation of Parcisonet embodies our dedication to enhancing the relationship between Parliament and civil society. This network will serve as a vital platform for mutual cooperation and collaboration, bridging the gap between policymakers and the communities they serve. Through Parcisonet, we aim to foster an environment where diverse perspectives not only add but valued, where dialogue is open and inclusive, and where the principles of democratic and good governance are upheld. Transparency is the cornerstone of trust in any democracy. By promoting openness in our legislative processes, we ensure that the public is well informed and actively engaged in the decisions that affect their lives. Accountability is the bedrock of responsible governance. Through rigorous oversights and public scrutiny, we hold ourselves and our institution to the highest standards of conduct. Mutual cooperation and collaboration between Parliament and civil society are essential in addressing the complex challenges we face today. Whether it is in the realm of social justice, economic development, environmental sustainability, or public health, the combined effort of lawmakers and civil society can drive meaningful progress and create lasting impact. The principles of democratic governance are not merely ideals which we aspire. They are the practices we must embody daily. Parcisonet represents our collective commitment to these principles. It is a testament to our belief that robust democracy thrives on the active participation of its citizens and the constructive engagement of all stakeholders. As a member of Parliament and as a member of the steering committee, I am honored to work alongside such dedicated and passionate individuals with democratic vision to promoting common good. Together, we will ensure that Parcisonet becomes a beacon of transparency, accountability, and collaboration. We will strive to make our parliamentary processes more accessible, our governance more responsive, and our society more just. In light of this, let us embrace the opportunity to strengthen our democracy. Let us commit ourselves to the principles that underpins good governance, and let us work together in partnership and solidarity to build the future that reflects the hopes and aspirations of our people. I am Honorable Ibrahim Aziz Bangura, a member of the Steering Committee. Thank you.
Thank you. This is really co-creation in the making. Let's give him a round of applause again, please. He's a member of the opposition All People's Congress Party, Honorable Ibrahim Aziz Bangura. Thank you very much. Normally we now know that in elites fight, our country retrogresses, and he made a profound statement which I just want the media to take and hold him accountable for that. This is going to be a vital platform for mutual accountability and cooperation. It's going to be a vital platform for mutual accountability and cooperation. So we only hope you stand by that moving forward. I will now call on the member of Paramount Chief Representative, Honorable Ali Bala Samam Mara. Is Honorable Ali Bala Samam Mara in the house from Koinadugu district? If it is not in, we can progress to the CSO representative, Edmond Abu Jr., the co-chair of Participant. Edmond, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I want to stand on the existing protocol. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, colleagues, CSOs, members of the diplomatic corps, ladies and gentlemen in the first instance. Firstly, we want to thank the Speaker and the leadership of Parliament for this particular occasion. Mark you, they literally kind of like 100% support this program, 100%. Let us put our hands together for the Speaker and leader of the business. Because of time, we could not get support from our partners, donor partners. So, also, let us also thank, of course, as you see from Mr. Gilbert Bosconabe, the acting clerk. He has been a great child, and he has been very much instrumental behind the process. So, if we have a partnership like this, it is people like Mr. Gilbert Bosconabe, the acting. Gentlemen and ladies, let us give a round of applause for Mr. Bosconabe. Well, of course, my colleagues have said it all. I just want to pinpoint, make some few clarifications. Again, for my CSOs, we want to apologize. We cannot get all of you. We have more than 2,000 CSOs across the 16 political districts. This is a partnership, so if you are not here, please want to apologize because we cannot get everybody here. So that's why we are having this kind of small thing. Today marks a special day. As the co-chair, our relationship with Parliament is what I call an unholy marriage. You know, each time I talk with the Speaker, he always has this kind of suspicion, kind of, well, Edmond, when will they attack me back? Because we have this kind of bittersweet relationship. So it's a relationship that is unholy. It can be sweet, it can be sour. And we've had a rocky, bumpy ride. Of course, like you've heard the chairman said, he was summoned along with Mr. Ibrahim to be here for a report. We have Mr. Abdul Fatoma. He was arrested by the Parliament. Of course, I remember 2007 elections, the new, and of course, talking drum, we have Honorable Ibrahim Bondo. He was part of here. Honorable Ibrahim Bondo, thank you very much for coming. He was part of the second Parliament of the Second Republic. And of course, we have a very, gentlemen, and let me just permit me to just give a brief background. We started this relationship in 1999, from 1999 to 2000. Mark you, we have 11 years of protracted labor war. We have a warlord, rebel leader by the name of Kopafoli Sako. He was not honest with the Leone Peace Accord. We have an existential danger. The soul of Sierra Leone was on the line. We have the January 6, 1999. And we have a pending threat of another revolution. And if the rebels would have entered, it could have been the biggest, the worst bloodbath, even worse than the Holocaust. We sent women's representative to Fodisanko to go and speak to him, at least to see reasons for the cessation of hostility. Fodisanko never budged. We came back, we strategized as a youth activist there, and then we came to this parliament. We met the parliamentarians, and they infused new oxygen into us. We converged at 43, marched through Shaka Street, Sanders Street, we went to Fodisanko. At the end of the day, religious leaders, petty traders, all of us, there was nothing like APC or SLP. We have the UNPP, PDP, so there. 22 activists were killed, and that was the turning point to the war. That was where the war ended. And today, we are not seeing our historians, we are repeating history. Our peace and conflict experts, they are not talking about the May 8th of 2000, where we end the rebellion. We are not seeing that. That is because we had a partnership between civil society and the parliament. So you see what the partnership have done over time? Just after that, we were having this kind of back and forth relationship and what have you. But gentlemen and ladies, let me just define who are we, who are CSOs. CSOs are non-state actors. What makes us different from the parliamentarians is because for the parliamentarians and politicians, their political activities give advantage to their political parties. And for us, we serve humanity. Professional bodies, we have Reverend Fona here. We just need to rest Bishop because he was an activist. He served humanity. He helped to bring the rebels out of the bush. They led negotiations. So religious leaders are activists. The bar association, professional bodies, engineers. You see the doctors are fighting with the government over pay rise. You see them fighting, nurses. These are all activists. And you need their expertise in oversight functions as expert witness. And that's the kind of relationship, that's the kind of marriage we want to be through this vehicle by CSO. That's a conduit. So that is CSO. We are not state actor, not political. So if you, as a CSO, your political activity or advocacy give advantage to a political party, be it SNP, APC, you are not a CSO. And Mr. Speaker, remember, these people that you are seeing, most of them, they are experts. They are not beggars. They are experts in their own standing. They have degree holders. We just need this kind of partnership. So you don't see them, you think they are beggars that are coming here for catch-up, SO2. No. Because we, most often than not, most of these bills, bad bills, we just saw what happened in Kenya over the infamous Finance Act. 40 people were killed in Nairobi because there was a God. There was a God. There is a kind of like, there's no vehicle between the Kenyan parliament and the people. And that is what we want to build in Sierra Leone, to pass on it. We want that kind of vehicle. So, it is a relationship full of suspicion. We want to end that suspicion, Mr. Speaker. We want to be treated with respect. And of course, you, the CSOs, you treat the MPs with respect too. Journalists and CSOs, at time, I was in PN Africa in Accra, in Uganda, and they were there, and I called the leader of government business. Edmond, so you call the MP, I say, yes, I'm calling my leader. For them in Ghana, they don't have a relationship. But I cannot misuse my relationship with Honorable Machidima because we have something personal in common. Any small thing we disagree, I come to the public. I start to blackmail Honorable Machidima. We have things that we share along with Mr. Abdulkabo, the APC. We will never discuss that in public. But they know where we stand. That is the ongoing marriage. I remember, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Obama went to Kenya, and Uhuru Kenyatta there told Obama, he was backing the Democrats, they are pushing this same-sex. Uhuru Kenyatta was very much unequivocal. Say, Mr. President, Mr. Obama, we can be friends. We can be friends. We can be friends. But this one, it is un-African, it is unacceptable, it is immoral. We cannot accept this one. So we can be friends. But on same-sex, Mr. President, right there in Nairobi, that is what Uhuru Kenyatta told Obama. So we can be friends, but we have disagreement. Or yes, we can have disagreement. But how do we manage this relationship between the CSO, the suspicion, between the CSO and the parliamentarians? That is what this particular conduit, this vehicle, want to address. So, how do we move the relationship forward? As I close, on pre and, like my colleagues were saying, pre and post legislative scrutiny. At least I was expecting my MPs, before you legislate some laws, you go back to the people. You seek the opinion of the people. Ask civil society, bring in experts. If it's an engineering or not, you have the association of engineers, bring them. On legislation. And on oversight. These people you are seeing here, we have CSOs in the right to the existing political state. So we can help you a lot. We can add values to the oversight. And that is what this particular network want to achieve. Of course, we have about 35 parliamentary committees that stand to be connected. We have about 14 directorates. We want to work with functions. Very recently, we saw the toll road. We still have the infamous Article 10.4. I have the chairman here. We fought. In fact, we will keep malice. We are not to speak in time. If you see me and Honorable Matsumima fighting, you think we'll never speak. We'll fight like there's no tomorrow. That is the relationship we have. Unholy marriage. Bittersweet relationship. So, gentlemen and ladies, without much ado, I want to thank my colleagues CSOs for reposing the confidence in the Honorable, in me to lead you in this process. And we hope to see a better and brighter scenario. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. CSOs in the house, can you rise, please? So our colleagues in the house, please rise. As I summarize the 4 points made by Edmond Abu. Thank you very much, Edmond. Thank you. Edmond said we are going to channel our energies into something more productive. That's one commitment. He said we are going to make our critiques more constructive. And he said we don't need to be misunderstood. It's a terrain of contestation. The way we walk, we're going to lambast, we'll blast sometimes. You actually need to see value from that and see how that will be useful. But he ended up by saying that we are going to use this, the parasisonet, as an entry into the wider terrain of governance. So we're not just stopping at Parliament. We are going to see how government and civil society actually work on many areas. So thank you very much. Let's everyone just rise up so that we applaud you in our CS way. Thank you very much. Colleagues, you can sit down, please. I will now call on the bar association, Madam Tuma Jabi, bar association president, to make remarks. Yes, can you give her the mic?
Mr. Chairman, distinguished Speaker of Parliament, Deputy Speaker, Leader of Government Business, Leader of the Opposition, distinguished members of Parliament, esteemed leaders of civil society organizations, respected representatives of development partners, and honorable guests here present. closely examine the development trajectories of this government, we will realize that this momentous occasion marks the beginning of a new era of collaboration, transparency, and accountability in the governance of Sierra Leone. Born from the united vision and efforts of leaders from 52 civil society organizations across the 14 districts of Sierra Leone, in partnership with the leadership of Parliament of Sierra Leone, one can already see the greater accountability that this partnership promises to be. I am especially elated to have been invited to speak at such initiative with strong belief in the commitment to enhancing governance on a platform where civil society and parliamentary leaders can engage constructively to advance the interests of our nation. I want to posit here very clearly that as president of the Sierra Leone Bar Association, we look forward to the blossoming outcome of this union. The launch of Parsonet symbolizes a significant milestone in our journey towards strengthening the democratic fabric of this country, something we are passionate about. We all cannot underestimate the power of constructive dialogue and cooperation between Parliament and civil society, ensuring that governance processes are transparent, accountable, and inclusive. We have been told that these efforts are overseen by a steering committee which is dedicated to ensuring the operationalization and success of this network. I have listened to the different presentations of key stakeholders here, sharing their perspective on the importance of this partnership. We have also noted insights provided by members of Parliament and will also listen to development partners later on. The role of civil society in the parliamentary process, the functions of the steering committee, and the expected impact of this collaboration in governance in Sierra Leone. It is my singular honor, in the spirit of promoting accountability and service delivery, in the spirit of ability for the benefit of all Sierra Leoneans, and in the spirit of laying the foundation for a brighter, more inclusive future, to say congratulations to the Parliament of the Republic of Sierra Leone as we race towards greater accountability. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for Madam Tuwajali. Thank you very much from the Bar Association. The justice system is one area that has been troubling for Sierra Leone. So the Bar Association is one big society. So we hope that action will be taken, just like we are taking action on Parliament to ensure that civil society, which is led by the Bar Association, actually bring that Sierra Leone's justice system to account. So ladies and gentlemen, let us just put our hands one more time for Tuwajali. I will just like to, at this point, call on the leader of the opposition, or his representative. Yes. Okay, Honorable Daniel Kuruba, please. If you want, you can use the left hand or wherever you want to stand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The Right Honorable Speaker, Mr. Chairman, permit me to stand on existing protocols, because what I see here today, for the first time, is an attempt to change things over completely. And I have no doubt in our current speakership and his deputy. They are young minds with computer brains. And I believe what used to exist before have been a thorn in the flesh of Mr. Speaker since our days in the fourth parliament regarding our relationship or the relationship between civil society and parliament. I never knew the importance of transparency and accountability until I entered parliament in 2012. That's the time I knew that with the lack of transparency, for the wrong reason, a whole country can be set ablaze. Just for the lack of transparency, it promotes misconception. It allows the general public to think one way, while if there had been transparency and a particular transaction, the way they were thinking would have been completely different. But because there's no transparency, it allows misconception and it has the potential to put a whole country at risk. Very important. And one of the conduits of transparency and accountability, I believe, is a civil society. But based on my experience in parliament, I see my speaker as a man with love and heart. And I believe you can, but it's not easy, but you can do it. And I promise you on behalf of my leader that you have our support. We'll do all we can to support you, but it is not easy. The relationship between parliament and civil society, it's not easy. In fact, we see them, for the wrong reason, we see them as evil society. Rather than civil society. We see them like to take the bull by the horn and bring parliament to account. You know what we do? Say, in fact, who gave him that authority? In fact, what we do is let us summon you. You will be summoned here, and then you are scrutinized, and then we start going to your finances. The funding you receive is for and on behalf of the people of this country, whom we represent. So we use that one to intimidate them. We use that one to intimidate them. So I see civil society in one hand as people who don't have a free hand to stand at the middle. So as a result, most of them have ended up taking sides. You hardly see a civil society organization now that is not associated with the political party. I'm telling you a fact. They are associated with political parties, and that is not the role of civil society. You are supposed to be in the middle. But sometimes the system will not allow you to stay in the middle. You choose to stay in the middle, you end up being arrested. You end up in police custody for 2-3 days. Just to intimidate you. And for some civil society, if you are an MP now, that you used to be a civil society, please forgive me. But for some I've seen civil society individuals who end up being MPs. You know how they manage to become MPs? They work very hard to unseat their predecessors. Instead of support the MP to deliver on the constitutional roles they have, they end up undermining them. If there's an MP here, whether by my former, please forgive me. If you use to listen to society, you are now, I challenge you that you work very hard to unseat your predecessors. And I want you to know that somebody is also working very hard to unseat you. You know what goes around? Mr. Speaker. civil societies are supposed to be fearless. They are supposed to be non-participating. And Parliament needs civil society. In everything we do, especially in the legislative process, every law we make here is associated with a particular development aspect of this country. Let's say, for instance, the CPA. We just enacted. Although I know, I'm convinced that there will be a second thought on that. That CPA, the chairman in his wisdom, invited position papers from civil society organizations. To my greatest disappointment, only 2 responded. Legally and advocate. The rest never did. We have laws that borders on environment. We make laws that borders on justice sector. We make laws that borders on agriculture, food security. We make laws that borders on health. And there is no sector that does not have an individual civil society organization that is an expert in that area. So every laws we make, we call it pre-legislative engagements. Pre-legislative engagements. Before a bill is brought to Parliament, while it is in the state of a proposed bill, members of the legislative committee and the relevant committee, like for instance, if it is health related, the relevant committee is committee of health. They will be engaged, preferably outside Parliament. Those are the times that civil society organizations are necessary to educate us on the importance of those bills, on the technicalities of those bills before they are presented to the web. Because no sooner they are presented to the clerk, it now becomes a bill. And at that stage, now it's now a document, you can do little or nothing. So I encourage civil society. This is a lot of initiative. And we are here to support this, Mr. Speaker. I encourage you that indeed there can be no other arm of government that needs civil society than Parliament. In everything we do, we need you. And for civil society desk to be established here, it makes me fulfilled. It makes me satisfied that I'm a member of this family. It makes me proud. Because I know it will yield good fruits. There are challenges, so there are challenges. But with time, those challenges will be overcome. And we promise to give you our support. No politics in this one. No politics. So first, as far as civil society relationship with Parliament is concerned, it has to be Sierra Leone first. Not political party first, not government first, but Sierra Leone first. And we promise to protect you, as opposed to the past. Just remember, no more summoning of civil society. With this initiative, there is no room for any civil society to be summoned, and then we get into your finances, because we now work together. So before you publish your articles, before you publish your reports, it will be done together with Parliament. And then the result will be better. So thank you very much. You are most welcome into this Parliament. Your desk is part of Parliament from now on. And that will be pronounced by Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Leader, thank you. It's a great statement, thank you. So we actually moving from, we can say, from tyranny to transformation. From tyranny to transformation, that's where we're moving to. So if we need a transformative Parliament, which is the hope of all of us, we need behavior change on both sides. And he actually spoke to some of the things we need to see. How do we get civil society in the middle? And how can politicians also change their behavior to ensure that civil society and citizens' voices are protected? It's a delicate balance we are trying to strike here. But I must say on behalf of my colleagues that it's okay if you want a civil society want to support a political party. It's okay. It's good that politicians just accept that. If there are people talking from different standpoints, it's okay. But what is wrong is when we come to making decisions on behalf of Sierra Leone. Those partisan positions need to bow to the interest of the public, because as long as people vote, they take that position. So, for those of you that have been looking at the Funds for Peace data, by the way, we are publishing a report this week to next week on the cost of this political impasse. It's huge for our GDP, for our gross domestic product. And it's good that elites are now coming together to see how we can put this behind us to ensure that we actually come together, all sides respect one another, to advance the argument in the interest of the country. So we have moved, and at this point it's good we thank the US government for supporting the tripartite. So what we saw as tripartite outside of Parliament, we are now bringing tripartite in Parliament. In fact, it's now Parliament, civil society, and development partners working together to improve Parliament. So openness is key, but it's okay for all of us to be different. And I call on my friend, Honorable Leader of Government Business, Honorable Matthew Sa-Yuma, to speak on behalf of government for this occasion. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as the Leader of Government Business.
I see the Parliament chairing parliamentary programs. I just feel something within me. I feel like I have fulfilled the dream that I've been also yearning for. Now, how do you reconcile with your colleague, a friend and a brother you have gone with the same college with a different perspective of opinion in terms of issues, and turn around and copy and say, let us work together to make sure a better place? That is the man. Thank you very much. I was a very bad critic, that's how I put it, for the IGR when it started. But today we are friends in the case of the governance. Bravo. Let me go to my script, where I want to be very assertive and be very focused and transparent in the business of civil society and Parliament. Our intention is to demystify the waters of Parliament. Section 97 of the Constitution. We don't intend by any means to alienate ourselves from the people we represent here. That is the reason we decided to form this organization. Under the speakership, you can hear from the statement. And let me start business proper. But I needed to talk to my man, the landlord. Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues here, members of civil society, how are you? Everybody, we want a special problem, and we can witness in my language. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, those also representing the diplomatic community, and my friends, those I'm well pleased, members of the Fourth Estate. Are you here? I want to see you. You have to carry this information. The positive. I like them very much. Because after here, Mr. Speaker, I will start to get different forms of information. It makes the debate very interesting. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I salute you, members of the Fourth Estate. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Leave, and the chairman, my friend, Mr. Lavali, it is with great pride and profound gratitude that has come before you today on this momentous occasion of the official launch of the PAS Summit. I mean, this is a very new term that we have coined. I know it's coming from the chairman and the other one, the chairman and the representative of the PAS Summit. It's good, it's a very good day we are trying to coin this one. This pioneering initiative marks a significant milestone in our collective journey, pioneering initiative acts, because we tend to work together as a family in the interest of Sierra Leone towards fostering good governance. Transparency is the core word. That is the watchword we need to capture. Accountability in Sierra Leone. If we don't integrate ourselves to accept from different institutions we are working and respect ourselves, there is no way we are going to embrace transparency and accountability. 3 years ago, the leadership of Sierra Leone Parliament, alongside our esteemed partners in civil society, which are those written in our local palace, embarked on a bold and visionary collaboration. In fact, all the way to the office will tell what we did first is to understand our rules. Parliament, even when members are sworn in to take oath, even a member, as I speak, it's difficult to understand the parliamentary works because it's a different environment altogether. Even if you have PhD, we have to school you. How do you need to deal with parliament? So in demystify our relationship, we need to understand our responsibilities. So when we met 3 years ago, that's the first thing that we did. We recognize the imperative need for a synergetic relationship between Parliament and civil society to enhance the democratic governance of our beloved nation. This vision has now materialized into the establishment of CISONET, an innovative network that stands as a testament to our commitment to an open, transparent, and accountable governance system. We are talking about open government initiatives, Mr. Speaker, but it was not enough. We need to sit together with civil society. Those who metamorphose to go into our constituency, talk about us, sit with them, look in their faces, tell them the work that we are doing. They have challenged us in terms of single hour, in terms of parliamentary elections, but they are not metamorphosed to be civil society. It's not a crime at all, as you said, it's not a crime. So what we need to do, in the interest of nation, we need to sit together and look at ourselves. The watchword is how we make Sierra Leone a better place. That is why we are here, so that we can integrate, so we can look at ourselves. That's why we said let us have civil society next in Parliament, to foster good governance, transparency, and accountability. The signing of the communique between Parliament and CSOs was a groundbreaking set. I mean, it's a move that we took so that we can have this thing done. When the idea of publish, the idea of what we call the analysis and the barometer. You know, it's my man. As I said, the barometer will be questioned one day. When the barometer is not transparent and is not coming to the way it should be, and it will inform us from questioning. So we have to call our man to see if the barometer system is working effectively. But for us, after his analysis of Parliament, in the notes, quote unquote, said Parliament is one of the most corrupt institutions. So that enhances us to have a relationship between CSOs. But for us, we try to make our position very clear under the extreme leadership of the SY Speaker, Dr. Abbas Jendogu. We mentioned Committee 1. It was not out of malice. We tried to make our position very clear. But it was not enough, Mr. Speaker. We said a lot of foreign that. So we called on Mr. Lavali, ETA, so that we can sit down and discuss. No malice. In the business of Sierra Leone. If we can reconcile before this and others, that they have destroyed the nation based on their ideologies and philosophy, why can't we reconcile with our brother who took upon himself to talk about barometers and use analyze institutions? Even the parameters we use were not correct. We are not interested in that. How do you make fortunes out of bad things that we perceive are not correct for the face of this world? Thank you very much. I think you will take the platform for us for this. But we did not stop at anything. Understanding the importance of sustained engagement and collaboration, we went further to provide a dedicated space for CISONET within the precincts of Parliament over there outside, just at the forecourt. This office space, shared by both Parliament and CSO representatives, symbolizes our unwavering commitment to continuous dialogue, cooperation, and mutual respect. Let me see the audience by my colleague. By any imagination, that's why I quoted 97 of our Constitution, to look at our citizens, to look at those who represent as beggars, when they want to talk to us about issues affecting society, whether directly or covertly. We cannot imagine that under the leadership of my speaker, to look at you as inferior character or inferior institution. We respect you. That's why we are here today, Mr. Speaker. That is the word. You mentioned it, but it's for us to understand that we are not gods, we are not angels, we are human beings like you do. It's just a matter of time. We are here today, you can be here tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today, as we officially launch Participate, we are not only celebrating the vision of a vision, but also setting a precedent for the entire Africa and the sub-region. He said it in the presentation by the acting plan. I'm the head of delegation for the Africa, Caribbean, Pacific, and the European Parliament. I say wide parliamentary representation. I have bluffed this one on several occasions. I am continuing to bluff with it. It's not easy to see in other parliaments to integrate members of the first estate, and in fact, the civil society number of the fifth estate. To integrate like that. Allow you to be charged by CSO. Allow your parliament to be filled with members of the fourth estate. To criticize you. They even go on the present condition of social media. How people handle social media. But we still accommodate them. We still look at them as friends in this business of nation development. We are not enemies. We have a common good. What's the good? Sierra Leone. We fight to protect under the unity, freedom, and justice. Mr. Speaker, we are not only celebrating the fusion of the vision, as I said, but also setting a precedent in the entire African region. Maybe Mr. Ebabu can help us in trying to see whether what I've said is or not true. If this novelty about integrating, making an MOU, this is not the first time. Strengthen our relationship. It's a novelty for parliamentary relationship with society. Perhaps you can have the same that in your analysis when you are moving on. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Sierra Leone is the first nation, as I've said, but the most important thing, it is a beacon of hope. As you said, as you said, Mr. Speaker, we enacted the deal. We enacted it. They also challenged in Parliament. We had our police going after us. I said it yesterday. But the level of bringing women, our female folks, into our democracy, infusing them in our democracy, as the president said last time, enriching the tapestry of our democracy. Oh yes. So including civil society as an integral part of parliament, as a beacon of hope of this nation. Because this is a natural democracy parliament. Here you see the SFP, whom the APC integrate, or whom the paramount chiefs, who are traditional leaders, working side by side to get this done. We have my previous colleague who spoke about how parliament is working across the aisle to make sure things happen. We can't be criticized, we can't be bashed, but we have permission to get it done. As a beacon of hope, Mr. Speaker, this is a model for other countries to emulate in the pursuit of democratic governance and civil engagement. Mr. Speaker, may I register my satisfaction that what I enjoy when you criticize me and I turn around in the next moment, we are in the same room. I have become a public figure. Mr. Chair, permit me to proceed. I will conclude very soon. This committee, which comprises representatives from both Parliament and CSOs, is tasked with overseeing the network's activities, ensuring that our collective efforts are aligned with our shared goals of transparency and accountability. That is why we are. If you don't see it, we will go after you. We will expose you, including our colleagues, including the civil society organization. In fact, somebody said we are moving more beyond the tripartite arrangement now. We are going to be the radical arrangement where we have other players. We need to be monitored seriously. We are not above the law. So we here, as parliamentarians, to obey the law and work with other institutions that are very vital to the members. Mr. Speaker, as a leader of this House, in this sixth parliament in the Second Republic of Sierra Leone, and we have found our government's full support for this initiative. We recognize the crucial role that civil society plays in our democracy. Acting as watchdogs, advocates, and partners in development. I cannot go back to history much, but during the referendum, read the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report. Go back to Memory Day. Mr. the rest is yours. That is very important. We don't live in a worry, but we live in a systematic environment where we want things to happen by the rule of law. While 600, Mr. Chair, is a platform that facilitates the sharing of knowledge. I looked at the report presented by the acting clerk. It was very clear about knowledge sharing. We have to have monopoly over knowledge. We don't have monopoly over knowledge. In parliament, you can be economist, you can be doctor. Depending on the bill in front of you, depending on the program in front of you, you have to do consultation. That is where we start. They are not sufficient to support us. Civil society support us. This joint communique we are going to sign today under the esteemed leadership of Honorable the Right Speaker, Senator Paul Thomas. Obviously, Senator Paul Thomas. Obviously. In conclusion, I extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has contributed to making the pursuit a reality. Your dedication, hard work, and unwavering commitment have brought us to this significant moment. Let us continue to work together, hand in glove, to build a better future for Israel, for achieving for the prospect of this generation to come to take over us. To build a better future is not to be a violent one. It's not to you to abrogate the rule of law, but to be a respecter of the law. To use institutions to address democratic issues, not to take laws in your hands. What makes us strong, or what makes us better, Mr. Speaker, is going to make use of democratic institutions to address our grievances. Let us work towards that. That is why this parliament, in the 5th Parliament of the Second Republic, and by extension the 6th Parliament of the Second Republic, it is a progressive parliament. We are not afraid to do anything in the interest of one nation to build this country to a higher height. We are ready to amend, to enact, and ratify. Document that I want to deal with in the interest of Israel. Colleagues, we are transparency. I have used this word repeatedly, and I will end these words. We are transparency, accountability, and good governance are the cornerstone of our democracy. It's only when we make this formula as a nation, we can be a better place for all of us to live in. The SNP, whom the DPC, whom civil society, whom our development partners, our products will be the better surrounding. Let us put our differences together and look ourselves as Samaritans. Political parties are just vehicles to drive our ideologies. They are not meant to hit us as if we are slaves to one another, as if we are enemies. It's just a political difference based on ideologies. You can move at any time. You can shift the goal at any time because of nation building. That is why we don't have that you come and stand and say, let me use God to campaign. We use manifestos to campaign. does not pass the right message to our people. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for bringing us to speed on what we do as parliamentarians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, all you guys. The Lord bless us all.
Thank you, Honorable. I don't know why I'm not hearing the thunderous applause for Honorable Leone. So he said a few things, and I think what he said actually ties in very well with what his colleague. People put fears in their vehicles to come here and waste time until we're here because we want to achieve certain things. Politicians are committing now to allow civil society to do their work. So civil society should do its work. And I think one of the things that has not been said, I don't know whether the British High Commission will be making it in a comment, we've actually failing to acknowledge the role of Westminster Foundation for Democracy. Because I remember when the clouds were really dangerous at the time for civil society, it was Westminster that convened us at the Radisson Blue Hotel for us to actually start understanding one another. So the speaker was there, and then leaders of civil society were there. We spoke about the challenges facing, and then it dovetailed into the meeting that made this happen. So Parliament has been publishing its activities online. In fact, that's why when the PN Africa report came, Parliament of Sierra Leone was really high on openness. So we want to encourage Parliament to continue to publish those reports. Because I remember at one time at IGR we published reports on parliamentary attendance, which we got from online, and there was some tension over the use of that data. So let us just continue that good work. We encourage the opposition as well to provide alternative policy platform so that APC and SLP really become different on policies and procedures. And the more you make that clear, the more you see civil society working on justice, working on security, on every facet of policy to be to understand which position to take. So finally, we'll be inviting the National Dance Troupe. We'll be limiting their contribution to under 10 minutes because we've spent so much time in the day. Are they ready? Is the dance troupe ready? Thank you very much. So we invite you 10 minutes for you, please.
two countries. So civil society, the link between...
But leaders have had a need for cross-party collaboration, issue-based politics, more representation. We look for a day where SLPP and AP, Madam Kadijumu Peters, my elder sister, to take the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, let's applaud Madam Kadijumu. We should not discriminate our applause with respect to gender.
Honourable Speaker, members of Parliament, today we say marks a moment of standing. Initiative is the shared goal of enhancing governance transparency and accountability through the creation of a CSO desk in Parliament. Not only does it provide a structured avenue for civil society engagement, but also reinforces Parliament's commitment to openness and responsiveness.
It is your child fund. Child fund, I think...
Child fund works on key thematic areas including education, protection, livelihood, and policy advocacy. This means Child fund has been working with civil society organizations, ministries, agencies, the media, and children groups on policy advocacy, which is critical to deliver our country's strategic plan 2020-2026. Therefore, Child fund involvement in the formation of civil society network is deliberate and calculated effort. The launch today marks another significant step in promoting accountability and transparency in the work of Parliament to see this work. Once more, many thanks.
Thank you.
Honourable members of the Association of former members of Parliament, I can see a few around. The acting Parliament, Director General, constructively engage in parliamentary processes, ensuring that the voices of the people are heard and represented in the corridors of power. Educational and training initiative. It was a bold step towards fostering an inclusive governance framework where transparency and accountability are not just ideas, but practiced realities. On the 17th and 18th August 2021, the leader Parliament of Sierra Leone met with leaders of CSOs and agreed on the process of promoting constructive engagement for better results in governance and accountability processes. The climax of the meeting was the signing of the said communique, where both parties resolved. In order to be consistent with the previous commitments contained in the communique, the Parliament of Sierra Leone also funded an engagement forum. Parliament would then be required to invite CSOs in pre-legislative briefings as expert witnesses. And then CSOs will share the thematic work areas with relevant MPs and committees. On the oversight responsibility of Parliament, in the area of representation, Parliament and CSOs will undertake joint public education on the roles of MPs, establish accountability fora to strengthen governance mechanisms. CSO will track and raise the profile of MPs in respect of their interventions at local levels and also engage legislators in their programs. The official launch of the Parliament CSO network today is a testament
to Parliament's commitment to promote joint collaboration and take forward the needed steps to cement the constructive relationship between Parliament and non-state actors in responding to governance challenges. It is also important for us to acknowledge that this network will serve as a connecting thread to ensure increased interface, interaction, communication, and consultation between MPs and those they represent. Through this network, CSOs can contribute and influence the implementation of national development priorities. They will also contribute to transparent and accountable governance reform processes. CSOs will also effectively participate in legislation preparation, communication of social needs, and provide expert comments and opinion on bills. This collaborative interaction between Parliament and CSOs can reveal optimal utilization of advocacy and sensitization on policy and legislative decisions, as well as, I think, national problem sensitivity. As we look to the future, let us also acknowledge the tireless efforts that have brought us to this point. The promotion of PAL CISONet will continue through various channels, including social media, traditional media, and targeted invitations to key stakeholders. A dedicated web page and quarterly newsletters will ensure that we maintain ongoing engagement and awareness among all stakeholders. The official launch of PAL CISONet signifies a new dawn in the relationship between Parliament and civil society in Sierra Leone. It is a celebration of our collective efforts and shared commitment to advancing good governance, transparency, and accountability for the benefit of all citizens. Let us embrace this opportunity and with open hearts and minds, working together to build a brighter, more inclusive future for Sierra Leone. Parliament without scruple, I wish to state, fully accepts this collaboration. I therefore look forward to the fruitful discussion and collaboration that will emerge from today's event. And I so thereby direct, quarterly engagement between particularly the speakership of this Parliament and PAL CISONet. In the circumstances, I wish to now take this opportunity to officially launch the Parliamentary CSO Network and look forward to it standing the test of time during succeeding years. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, can you stay at the lectern, please? Because we are inviting the leader, our leader, Edward, joining. This is symbolic. It's a statement so profound. I think, Honorable Speaker, you have just buried it. You've nailed it. No more labeling of civil society. No more harassment of civil society. We are free to say the things we want to say. No more blackmail of politicians. We cannot blackmail politicians. No more rubber stamp of policies. Each political party will look at the policies of government and then use information to shape that. We pledge to improve the quality of our contribution of civil society. We pledge to improve the quality of our engagement. It is on this note that we are inviting the two of you, the Speaker of Parliament and Edmond Abu, facilitated by the Acting Clerk of Parliament, to sign our joint communique. So, thank you very much. On that note, I will now hand you over to Nemunatu FCO. Nemunatu FCO. Nemunatu, where's Nemunatu FCO? Come and thank everybody, but you have to thank me first. As a Maui chair.
Please permit me to stand on the existing protocols. As we close on this monumental occasion, it is an honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to all who have contributed to the successful launch of the Policy Summit. First and foremost, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to the leadership of the Parliament of Sierra Leone for their unwavering support and commitment to fostering a stronger partnership with civil society. Your vision and dedication for enhanced governance, transparency, and accountability are truly commendable. To the leaders and representatives of civil society organizations formed across all districts in Sierra Leone, your collaborative spirit and tireless effort have been the cornerstone of this initiative. Your passion for constructive engagement and commitment to good governance principles have brought us to this pivotal moment. We are also immensely grateful to our esteemed development partners, whose invaluable support have been instrumental in establishing Policy Summit. Your belief in the importance of civil society engagement in parliamentary processes and your continuous backing have made this launch possible. A special thank you goes to the members of the steering committee. Your dedication and foreseeing the operationalization of Policy Summit and your activities forward is deeply appreciated. Your hard work behind the scenes ensures that our shared goals have been realized today. We also wish to acknowledge the speakers and panelists who have shared their insights and expertise with us today. Your contributions have enriched our understanding of this vital role that civil society plays in parliamentary processes and the impact of our collective efforts to governance and accountability in Sierra Leone. To our media partners, thank you for helping us amplify this significance of this launch through your coverage. Your role in promoting awareness and engagement is crucial to the success of Policy Summit. Finally, thank you for your presence and active engagement with all our distinguished guests and attendees. Your support and enthusiasm are vital as we embark on this new chapter to collaborative governance. In conclusion, today's launch is not just a milestone, but a new beginning in the journey towards a more transparent, accountable, and inclusive governance system in Sierra Leone. Let us all continue to work together with the same spirit of cooperation and dedication to achieve our vision for the benefit of all its citizens. Once again, thank you all.
Yes, thank you. I think we want to thank all of you. Just a brief announcement. Please, for the MPs, we didn't make any arrangement for any fare for transport reform. And of course, for the Western area, of course, there was nothing like that. Arrangements. We only made arrangements for few CSOs from the regions, supported by the Parliament, and of course, with Westminster Foundation. Also, we want to invite all CSOs to go to Committee 1 down. We have a brief meeting before you go, and then of course you have your identity. Once we want to thank the directors and also all of you for coming. Let's please, baby, whatever before we invite anyone, just look at Committee 1. All CSOs, please.
All right. Good afternoon. Well, Fambulem, we don't come
Group photos.
to the end of the program. Of course, we will ask you today as the